There we go. Alrighty. Let's take a look at this new
Wait,
video by
Asmin's looking
Leaflit.
me up on some drama? Wait, what?
That was louder than I expected. Wow.
What happened?
Sure as hell is. Absolutely. Leaflit, very beautiful model, rotten person behind it. That's right, guys. There's nothing that's good about wanting to have somebody that doesn't even care about your fucking country get deported. I want to see this. I'm sick of alt-right VTubers. I'm not. She an Asmongold fan. Any opinion she might have is valid by default. She is to this illiterate fuck. Oh my god. VTubing is given a platform to people to be anonymous and say stupid shit and downright horrible things.
Who the
Genuinely,
fuck is
we're gonna get to a
Leaflit?
point where some of the bigger VTubers say enough is enough, and it's time to gatekeep because this is ridiculous. That's
How do you gatekeep like YouTube itself? Anybody can make content. Heck, I'm starting to make content beyond just my dog, who I just heard get into something. I'll check on him in a little bit.
right, guys, because they don't want it to be anonymous so they
Who
can
the
harass
fuck
you
is
in real
Leaflit?
life. That's always what it's about, just like it is every single time. I don't pay mind to these people. Yep, sure, go back to Africa. Funny as shit is, she's Japanese, yeah. And you know what they probably don't want? They probably don't want a bunch of Somalians in their country scamming them. It's pretty simple.
I'm American though. I'm American. What do you mean?
Leaflet, unfortunately, they're going to boil you down to a label. You know, the big label of American is not, how do you put it? It doesn't push their narrative. They want to boil you down to a label that they can put you into the smallest camp possible. And other than VTuber, then the next camp they can stick you in is your ethnicity. They judge by your skin color. That's just what they do.
People talking about? I was born in America. I've always been American. I have no loyalty to any other country. It's that simple. If I were to get into office, and if I were to get into office, right? And they were gonna say, "Hey, Leaflet, what is your priority?" It wouldn't be like, "Not America."
Who the
That's
fuck
crazy.
is Leaflit?
Like, that's crazy. So can you say the N-word right now? No. But so my problem with Ilhan Omar is that she said that she's going to guarantee protections for Somalia. Like, why? Do you see the point? Like, that's so weird. Like, why would you do
Who
that?
the fuck is Leaflit?
Like, why would you care about another country? Especially if you're making the rules, if you're part of governing Americans, why do you care about what happens to Somalia? Why is
You know, that's just the way it is. You get into America and you take from America because this narrative that's been going around where the anti-corporate narrative, I guess we can put it, is basically anti-white America. They say it's anti-corporate. Really what they mean is anti-white America, because they can use this label to allow them to infiltrate and destroy and take, as long as it's corporate, quote-unquote, anti-white America sentiment. That's just how it is.
that a priority? That's stupid. That's it. Your priority should be to all Americans, not a very specific group of Americans as well. This is so obvious. Like, how is this controversial, you know? She hates the US, she's basically said as much. Yeah, then what the fuck is she doing here? That's what I mean. Like, if America is so bad, then why do you keep trying to have people come here?
Leaflit?
Like, if it's that bad, then if you keep saying it's that bad, then why do you care?
Who the fuck is Leaflit?
So like, yeah, I double down, triple down, quadruple down. Yeah, I'd pay for her to get deported, sure. I'd pay her plane ticket right now. And it's like I said, all the people saying like, oh, well, isn't this hypocritical? Isn't this hypocritical because she's Asian? Bro, I'm American. I was born in America and I lived in America all my life. My culture is America. It's just freaking ridiculous. It's like racist to be like, well, why does she think that she's Asian? This is a total like hypocritical thing. You're just racist. What the fuck? You're generous. You'd pay for the cheapest flight. Yeah, well, see, I'm trying to increase the odds. You know, I'm trying to increase the odds of her taking it. So, if I can bait her into like taking the first class flight, then it's like totally worth it, right? It's totally worth like the extra money, is what I mean. Leaflet and free rent, the same person. Yeah, yeah. True. So true. You're racist for saying that I'm racist? Yeah, yeah, basically. Japanese are honorary Aryans for a reason. No, I mean, I don't get this shit. I don't get any of this shit of them saying like, oh, like America's a melting pot, and then to be like, but we're actually all different. Like, what the fuck? Like, what is that? It's like either you're American or you're not. Just make up your.
That's the classic American opinion, is you're American or you're not. But communism, Marxism, that stuff, from my experience, their biggest strength is dividing things into camps. You know, you're white, you go over here. You're black, you go over here. You're Mexican, you go over here, you know. And then they can further divide that. Well, you're not real Mexican. You're not real, you know, black. And that, just the more they can divide a community, the better the easier it is to get their fingers in there, pull them apart, and as a whole, we're strong. You know, as the movie said, you know, monkeys together, strong.
Fucking mind, you know? Make up your mind, and if you can't, I'll make up your mind for you. Lisa, my parents tried to indoctrinate me into being proud of Mexico and their culture. I had to basically teach myself everything it means to be American. So I'm not saying that you have to hate like your heritage, right? Like your when I mean that, I mean your ancestry. I'm not saying you have to hate that. If that's where your loyalties lie, then you're just in the wrong country. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I heard. It's like I say this. I said the same thing about the Jewish woman who's like, yeah, well, you know, I care more about Israel. And like, what the fuck are you doing here? Oh, I'm here for work. Okay, get the fuck out. It's not complicated. It doesn't matter. And here's the thing: is like, if they want to call me like racist or whatever, it doesn't. I don't care what the race of the person is. It doesn't matter. So how can that be racist? It doesn't make any sense. It's not based on any immutable characteristic. It's based on like your attitude. The idea that America first is controversial is just stupid. Guys, if they're trying to teach you that America first is bad, it's because they're trying to use words to manipulate you. That's all it is.
Amen, Leaflet. 100%. Labels, words, and emotions. Oh, little puppy. Speaking of which, got a little puppy chasing his tail beside me. Oh, yeah? Here, hold on. Here, have a blueberry. Is that what you're upset about? Is I have blueberries on my desk? Okay.
They're manipulating you into buying into their bullshit, which is like just obviously stupid. And by the way, the problem is these people aren't consistent. They're not consistent in anything. I think the same thing for every single country, by the way. That there's nothing wrong with being proud of like your country, and you should love your country first. I expect every single country to look out for the best interest of their citizens before everyone else. It just doesn't make any sense like why you would do it any other way. It's about making them say their honest feelings out loud. Yeah, true. I mean, that's why I debate people, right? The frame you pause Asmund has them look really sad. That's pretty funny though. They're hating on Asmund again, huh? On the VTuber. Was this like VTuber? Like, where is this? Wait, why did they come after me in particular?
I just realized I've been muted for a long time. But all that was to say that I don't know if it's parasocial or not to say that, you know, while I was a security guard and doing jobs for various sites, I listened to Leaflet, and I don't know if it's parasocial to say it or not, but I'm proud of how much she's grown. I've only just started to do things with YouTube beyond like posting videos of my dog, but I have listened to Leaflet, Kirsha, other VTubers, other personalities, Rev. I ironically, I guess, didn't know about the biggest one in this conversation, like Asmund, until I was listening to Leaflet and Kirsha, and they mentioned him. But yeah, I'm just proud of how much like Leaflet and Kirsha have grown. I guess that would be a parasocial thing for me to be proud for them, but I think it's cool. Thank you.
Like, why me? Kotomi Burb says, I'm a trans girl. I see nothing wrong with what you say. It's all true. Yeah, I mean, I hope that things are good for you, and I hope one day we invent a way to fix your problem. Like this. Like, I'm not. It's so weird because they paint me out to be so fucking hateful, and I'm just so mid. Like I'm so center on stuff. It's crazy. It kind of reminds me of the Myron thing, right? It's like you killed. It's like you guys killed Charlie. You killed the dude that was really that was trying to talk to people, trying to be reasonable. You guys killed that dude. And then the more that you hate on everybody in the middle, like the more that you hate on like me, Asmongold, the more that you hate on us, like eventually when we go away, all you're going to be left with is the people that actually do hate you. It's not hateful to hold people accountable for their choices and actions. They push the killing the censor is ill-advised. Yeah, totally. The problem is a lot of these like hyper leftists, they're just too stupid. That's just been like my observation in like the last like couple weeks. They're just dumb. Oh, is this it? Can I read this? Can I actually read this? Leaflit said in one of her videos that she would pay for plane tickets to send Ilhan Omar, a US citizen, back home. This is just Leaflit saying go back to Africa, which is still incredibly racist. Ilhan Omar was a refugee. Like, think about that, guys. She was a refugee. She came here off of our good graces, and then she acts like she hates the place. And she's like, yeah, you know, as long as I'm here, Somalia is not going to have any problems. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, what is she talking about? God, I hate Reddit so much. Reddit's dumb. And go back to Africa is still incredibly racist? No, because I don't think this of everybody. So here's the thing. They're gonna say it's racist, right? But what does race have anything to do with what I said? Like, let's just break it down logically. Leaflit saying go back to Africa. Okay, let's say I did say that. Yeah. Go back to Africa, Ilhan Omar, which is incredibly racist. How is that racist? What is that?
They use racism as a shield for their ideology. I've been noticing that a lot. Everything boils down to an ism. They need all these isms, all these ists. Oh, somebody wants me to go outside and play. We played just a little bit ago, Bubba. Let me finish this, okay?
Have to do with her race? She's literally from there. She's literally from there. She comes over here as a refugee, and then she's like, I'm gonna protect the people from Somalia. Like, what the fuck? Didn't she say as well that, I swear there was a video of her doing a talk where she was saying that something along the lines of Americans will be beholden to Somalians? She said some shit like that. There was like a press conference where she was talking to Somalians. She was speaking in like Somalia language or whatever the hell, right? It's ridiculous. It has nothing to do with that. Not all Africans are black anyway. Have they not met a South African man? Like, I mean, here's the funny thing.
The first man that comes to mind for me is Elon Musk. You know, he's South African. He straight up is South African. That's one of my favorite, like, interrupts for the liberal mindset, is whenever they're like, oh, would you say that you're talking about Africans? That means black people, right? No. But, you know, Elon Musk is from Africa. Just a thought.
Here's the funny thing. It's not really funny, but what I mean is, it doesn't really matter what her race is. It doesn't matter where she's from, really. They're the ones who make this about race. Nothing here is even racist. Them saying that it's racist is purely based on the fact that she's black and you said something negative about her. That's it. Because go back to Africa could have been anything. Like, Ilhan Omar, you telling her to go back home, right? As a refugee, it doesn't matter where she was a refugee from. If she was Polish, I'd say the same thing. If she was from Russia, I'd say the same thing. You know, Ukraine, whatever. I'd say literally the same thing. If there was a Ukrainian person who was like, I'm a refugee from Ukraine, and they came over here, and they're like, yeah, I care more about Ukrainians than Americans, I'd say, get the fuck out of here. So how is that racist? This is what I mean. Like, their logic doesn't even hold up. Genuinely, why did the VTuber space become so toxic? It became toxic because you can't handle any sort of disagreement. Any sort of stress like this is poisonous to you. Sunlight is poisonous to you. That's why it's toxic. Because I'm literally just pointing out how stupid you are. Unsavory philosophies, like philosophies they don't agree with. VTuber spaces, furry spaces, others like them are generally very open and accepting of people, which can invite unsavory philosophies. Yeah, like everything I don't agree with is unsavory. And if you
I've been noticing this a lot with like there's a generational, I swear, divide, like just 2 years younger than me, where everything is emotional and everything is an attack on you as a person. They don't understand how to separate politics from the person. I actually have quite a few people who I was very close friends with, and I will still talk to them if they will actually talk to me. These people have completely ostracized me over just basic things. Like, I believe that we should have the right to say who comes in and out of our country. I believe that parents have the right to choose what is best for their child. Very simple things that I would swear that most people would get behind. Most people would be able to go, "Oh, that just makes sense." You know, a parent should have the option to say, "No, my child does not want, or it is not good for my child to decide that they want to be on hormone blockers and that, like, because they watched a TikTok of some character. We're gonna say Dylan Mulvaney because he's a big one. Prancing around in a fancy house that they may or may not own, saying this is the trans lifestyle. And with how materialistic people are nowadays, that's what the kid wants. As a kid, I was materialistic. Heck, I wanted the new Optimus Prime that was coming out. I wanted the original Optimus Prime toy. I got it. My dad worked very hard to make sure that me and my brother really never wanted for anything. I think at the detriment of himself. But I was materialistic as a kid. I understand. As a kid, you want what's cool. You want what's interesting. And it used to be we had to see that through TV, through your local channel, through your local cartoons. And for the most part, that was relatively safe. Now, with everybody being able to have a mic and do some very basic video editing work, and boom, they've got a show where they're dancing around in Minecraft with a bunch of friends that are on their clock, helping them build really cool Minecraft creations, and then these kids fall in. They're like, "Hey, this guy's cool. He plays the game I like, and he's got all these friends. So if I listen to them and their political opinion, I'll be the same." Or as a kid, they don't even realize it's a political opinion, probably. I saw my nephews have trouble with this. We had to seriously limit their access to certain personalities on YouTube, and even start watching some of these personalities we saw in their feeds and their history, because they're like 8 years old. We had to start limiting their access to certain individuals, just because even though that they may not be pushing a certain ideology, it's still present in how they speak. Also, like, absurd amounts of profanity was quite common too.
you have a problem with the philosophy, then come fight me. Like, literally, like, come debate me. Tell me how your ideas are better. You won't do it. You won't do it because you can't. Why is it always the VTubers with pointy ears are racist? Okay, first off, that's racist. I'm half Fae. That's racist. The free rent effect, huh? I thought being open and accepting was a good thing. No, it's like I said, it's like they can't argue anything. They literally can't argue anything. What did my autistic faith have to do to deserve this? Hey, she sure is straight Trump ball licker. I don't even agree with Trump on everything. In fact, Trump isn't doing enough. I criticize Trump all the time. Beautiful model, rotten person behind it.
I was trying to find a place to stop. I think that if you don't question what your political figurehead, I guess you'd say, is doing, then you're not thinking. I personally don't always agree with Trump. As a matter of fact, I quite often don't. I do understand that I, how do I put this? I would like him to go faster. However, I want it to go through due process, so that way in the future we can say, "Hey, we went through due process to get this done." I have friends who want, Trump to flat out just screw due process. I'm the president. Do it anyway. Kind of like, you know, number 44 and 46 did. Lots of auto pen in number 46.
Not really. It's a very boring, generic lowly model. No wonder Rev is attracted to her. That's hilarious. She's an Asmongold fan. Any opinion she might have is invalid by default. Yeah. It's invalid by default because you can't argue against it. Like all of these people, you really know. I've literally never claimed that ever. These guys hallucinate worse than any AI you've chatted with. True. It's like I said, like they can't argue any of their point. They don't even, guys, they don't even know what they believe in. They want to tell you what to believe. They don't even know what they believe. They just repeat the thing. Like they hear everybody say the thing and then they say it. It's like the chant, like they go like, this is what democracy looks like, and then they just repeat it after. This is what democracy, and then they go like ice, ice, go away, ice, ice. They just like repeat it. Like they have like a little chant leader that like says a thing, and then everybody just says it, and everybody gets in line. They're like, orf, 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 every single time. This is why when you actually have a discussion with them, like you actually say, okay, well, tell me what you believe in and why is that, and how do we solve these problems? They can't do it. They literally freeze up. Like they can't even argue with you. I mean, and that's why they hate people like me, and they hate like Asmongold and Kirscher, right? That's why they hate us, because we just point out like how stupid it is, like this shit that they're saying. It's unfortunate that VTubing is giving people a platform to be anonymous and say stupid things, downright horrible things. Like generally, when are we gonna get to a point that some of the bigger VTubers says enough is enough, and it's time to gatekeep because it's getting ridiculous? Gatekeep what? Gatekeep VTubing? You know I was a VTuber in 2012, right? You're gonna gatekeep me out when I was doing this before all of you?
Who the fuck is Leaflit?
And even if you want to talk like, even if you want to talk about like not PNGs, like if you're gonna say like, oh well, PNG doesn't count. I had my first custom model in 2016. Back then, nobody knew how to do live 2D. I had to like pay my artist to like learn. I had to buy a live 2D license and then ask my artist to learn for me. I said like, hey, I'll pay you to like learn this new skill, and like, can you make me something? And I had to pay him to do that. It's not a VTuber exclusive problem. It's a social media problem. There's a reason why people keep quoting Mike Tyson, and he wasn't referring to VTubing. I don't pay any mind to these people. They function off of toddler logic. How is it toddler logic? Goo goo gaga black equals Africa? Like, this is such a straw man. This is stupid. They've just built like an entire straw man of like what they think you believe, and like none of it is real. They like reduce your argument into nothing. They like create like out of whole cloth your entire like belief system, and then they think that's what you believe, and they're fighting literally a shadow the entire time. Yeah, they're
Well, they have to drag you down to their level so that they can beat you with experience. It's I believe Mark Twain was the one who said, "Don't argue with idiots; they'll drag you down to their level and beat you with experience." That's just what it is. They have to drag you down to their level, and they can't understand where you're coming from. They don't. Logic and reasoning and the path that requires is foreign to them. I love the freaking, I don't know if she's going to talk about it, but this argument against Christianity, or Christians, I should say, right here. Once again, using cherry-picked verses to back up their view without using any context around it.
they're literally like fighting their own shadow.
Leaflit.
They're out there like punching like shadows, and they think it's like what you believe. And like I said, that's why they can't argue with you about on anything, because they don't know anything. But to be honest, this is like really interesting to read, because it's interesting to see like what they think. Leaflit is a massive transphobe. She had a debate with Nyara where she kept moving the goalpost to uphold her transphobic beliefs. What is this? You do realize she's friends with trans people, right? That's why she doesn't voice an opinion either way. Just because she debates someone, okay, I'm not gonna, like, I don't really agree with Nyara, but I don't really want to fight them, to be honest. I've even defended Nyara a couple times on some issues where I thought that that Nyara was taken out of context. Anyway, being friends with a minority doesn't change anything. Yeah, of course it doesn't. I had a racist friend in high school. The second he slipped up and showed no signs of trying to change, I just cut him. Like, actually having a friend that is of that category that you supposedly hate, actually it actually is proof. It is actually, like, they'll try to like play this game where they're like, well, you have a black friend, that doesn't mean you're like, you don't hate black people. I mean, like, obviously there's something else involved, because you don't actually hate them specifically because they're black. Because if you did, then you wouldn't be friends with them. I wanted to tell you that you were wrong, and then I didn't want to put you up further. I wasted my life arguing with idiots against you. I'm not obligated to let you respond. I know you're just going to be a transphobic asshole. I'm a trans woman, and I found everything Leaflit said to be transphobic. Being friends with and knowing a trans person doesn't excuse anybody. Well, what about my friends that think I'm not transphobic? I have trans friends that don't think I'm transphobic. So now it's like your word against them. Yeah, counterspell. Exactly. Counterspell. I don't hate trans people. Guys, what I'm saying about the whole trans thing is just fucking obvious. It's just the truth. When I say that the best way, how do I say it? If you're trans, you have to accept yourself outside of anyone else accepting you. Because if your entire self-worth as a trans person is based on literally every single person accepting you, then you'll never be happy. The only way for you to be happy is to accept the reality and then understand that, like, you still deserve dignity. But that dignity should come from yourself, not from other people. Otherwise, you'll never be happy. Because all it's gonna take is like one person that says like, you know what? Well, whatever, sir, I don't care. Now your entire self-worth is shattered by a single person. So what I advocate for is trans people building the confidence within themselves and the value within themselves, which is
I have a family member that went trans in the COVID era because they were trying to be a influencer, and they were convinced by the small following they had to become trans. And they 100% relied on the approval of those in their community. They never built up any solid faith in themselves and their own identity. And whenever those people left them for the next person, the next thing they needed a trans, this family member was left just with the consequences of their actions. They had started taking hormones. They were working on possibly getting some surgeries. I don't know which ones. They had a child, and they were flat out like, "Well, I'm no longer their mother. I'm their father." And meanwhile, their father was standing right there, and this young girl has gone her entire life until she was 10 years old with a mother and a father, and now she's got a delusional mother and a father. And that mother has gone on to completely destroy herself in almost every way, including alienating all of her childhood friends, her family, her church family, everybody. Because anytime anybody would call her by her birth name, the name she's gone by for 30 years, she would just stop talking to them and walk away. And she assumed that this would mean that she would somehow earn some sort of credit. Oh, I know, puppy. This will somehow earn her some kind of credit or credibility, whenever all it did was just drive people away. And really, most of them that I know of 100% still want to be friends with her and support her, but she went too far. And she can no longer be who she was. She's done too much damage to her body and her mind, chasing something that didn't even turn out to give her a job. And now it's just she as a person, her body is messed up and her mind, and just no longer functions as a person. I hope that she gets better, and we're all here for her. But it is what it is.
It's the only realistic way to be happy. It's just realistic. Basically, you need to toughen up emotionally. Everybody has to. Being friends with trans people doesn't automatically make it anyway. Saying things like transgenderism and transing children. So if you say trans, wait, what? Saying things like transgenderism is transphobic. Wait, what? Wait, saying transgenderism is a transphobic dog whistle? What the fuck? Jeez. Oh, here we go. Her whole argument was basically leave the kids alone. They shouldn't be allowed to make life-altering decisions, nor should the parents have the power to make the decision on behalf of them. And if you think you're trans, seek professional help in case there's a chance you have more traits and interests that are associated more with the opposite gender. Leaflit gave this advice to one of her friends personally and said that all of her friends were saying, oh, you're trans, you should get surgery. Yeah, that happened to me. So if you guys don't know that story, I had a friend.
Who the fuck is Leaflit?
I'll tell you guys a story.
Who the fuck is Leaflit?
So I had a friend. I had a friend who like came out as trans, and he said, "Leaflit, I'm trans." Yeah, I'm so happy. I just came out as trans, and like everyone was so happy for me, and like I saw everybody just like glazing them and stuff. And I told them, I said, I've known you for a while, and it's okay. Like, are you sure about this? Like, did you really think about this? And I said, it's okay for you to be a man that is feminine. If you're a man and you like girly stuff, it doesn't mean that you're a girl, is what I said to them. Right. And I was the only person who said, like, you should like maybe get some professional help, get like some therapy, like really think about it. It's a really big decision and has like a lot of like ramifications for your life. So you should probably really think about it before you do anything. Right. And then, it was the kind of friend that I talked to like every now and then about like life and stuff like that. And then they, we kind of played our separate games for a while. And then like a year later, like they messaged me about it and they were like, hey, Leaflit. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, I'm so glad you told me to go seek help because I did. And I realized I'm not trans. I'm just a girly guy. Yeah. And they're like, yeah. So, I'm really happy that you pushed back on me and like it really saved my life because I could have made like a really terrible decision. That's it. So it's like obviously there's people like that, right? And I observed it myself. Yeah, and like if a person is like that and if a person's trans and like they find out that they're trans and then I have no problem with it, right? I have no problem with it actually. As long as there's like gatekeeping and it's confirmed and there's like all sorts of process behind it. I don't really believe in just like letting people what's the word? I'm not a fan of like self-ID being like the being the gate that allows people to enter like spaces, basically like private spaces for for men and women. I think there has to be some kind of process. The reason why is because of societal harmony, right? Puppy. Because realistically, and again, I'm speaking about the real world, right? Like realistically, there are conflicting interests on both sides. And for the purposes of harmony, there has to be some kind of vetting process at the very minimum in order for there to be any sort of, basically. It's just pragmatic. Trans only became an issue when they forced tomboys and femboys to be trans. Yeah, I mean, they do this a lot. Like, they did this to my friend. She swindled people out of 30 mil and people still find reasons to defend frauders. Insane. Yeah, Ilhan Omar. Yeah. Biggest riot L, not removing any mentions of her from League. I'm so happy if Battle Song got removed. Don't let these racists have any legacy. Salty as fuck. Actually, screw them, says Gulther. Saltier than the Dead Sea. Apparently, they don't know what a legacy is. They seek your complete destruction? Yeah, of course. It's because they can't fight you on ideas. It's like I've been saying the whole time. They can't fight you on any, like their ability to convince on any sort of even footing. They can't do it. They can't fight honorably. They won't actually clash ideas with you because they'll lose. So they have to like try to, deplatform you, make it impossible, make it like, oh, it's not worth arguing with this person because they're a racist. They have to like paint you as some kind of persona non grata or kill you like they did with Charlie, right? I mean, that's why they killed him. They killed Charlie Kirk because he was too dangerous to them. Leaflit is both LGBT and a minority. So her doing the weird pick me shit is baffling. Pick me. See, this is like stupid. This is stupid. So like, because I'm a minority, I don't even really think of myself that way, right? But just because I'm Asian, just because I'm not like white, like that means that I can't have an opinion on my own. That's crazy.
In all honesty, Leaflet, Fae don't have many protections nowadays, so it gets really tough to defend your position there. We're still working on the Fae rights.
So, like, because I disagree, I'm a pick me, and that's not allowed. It's baffling that I would have a different opinion, right? So, if you like break down the meaning here, and this is what I mean. This is actually racist. This is actually sexist. Do you see what I mean? Like they're projecting. Like they call me racist when they expect that my opinion has to be a certain way because of a racial factor, and then they say, oh, you're sexist. But sexist or whatever, like I don't know, LGBT phobe or whatever, right? They say that, and then they expect that I have to believe a certain way because of my sexual feelings towards people. It's like they're just projecting like every time. She used to be normal, but I bet her boomer ass mom, who's her only friend, brainwashed her over COVID. Okay, to be honest, I was conservative before my mom. So you have it backwards, actually. My mom was like more democratic, and I converted my mom. So yeah. If you
Is that like a leftist idea of a your mom joke? Like, is that a leftist your mom attack? Just flat out, just shifting the goalpost to attacking her mom? Or the fact that she is still friends with her mom? That's it. Leaflet is still friends with her mother. And I think her father. I've never heard her say a whole lot about her dad. But, either way, she's still friends with her mom and her family as a whole, from what I understand. So that's why they don't like Leaflet, I think. That's one of the reasons.
zoom into the chat, they're talking about packing them into a slave ship. They aren't subtle. I have no idea like what they're talking about, and I don't agree with making people slaves. Obviously, gamer, nerd, furry are accepting until you mention black people. Wait, what is this person even talking about? Is there a GoFundMe for this cause? Nice, I'll sub to them now. Thanks for the shout out. Hello, base department.
Who the fuck is Leaflit?
Oh, no, they're talking about Ilhan Omar here. Okay, what did like the people up here say? Look at this. -39 on like an objective truth here that I'm friends with trans people, which is true. The funny thing is I'm friends with people that you wouldn't believe. Like I'm friends with people like off stream that you wouldn't fucking believe. Well, yeah, I'm like cordial with everybody. Like if people I disagree with message me and then they want to like talk about it, I'm not gonna call them a bitch and not talk to them. I'm friends with a ton of people that disagree with me publicly. At the very least, I actually am willing to talk to them about like whatever qualms they have and clarify my position on things. That's crazy. Being alt-right should warrant an asylum stay. Yeah, I'm alt-right, guys. if I'm alt-right, you're screwed, honestly. If you actually think I'm alt-right, you're very screwed. They should be thrown into a meat grinder. Wow. How very nice and kind. Right? They're like, Leaflet's not kind enough of a person. Let's throw her in a meat grinder. These people even listen to do they even like read their own posts?
If you look at their posts, a lot of their posts are about violence. Like, they want to kill people that disagree with them. They've been redrawing cartoon characters as killing conservatives and law enforcement. The official author or artist for Absolute Batman and one of the versions of Transformers nowadays has been redrawing Batman and Optimus Prime attacking ICE agents, killing police officers, and they all cheer this. The idea that you value a life so little and that you value the quote-unquote political stance of a fictional character so much is really pretty messed up.
Like, even read their own posts. Like, they just sound psycho. It's not very tolerant. Yep. She's the biggest fan to this illiterate fuck. The funny thing is, though, guys, is like these people love to shit on Asmongold and say that he's like stupid, but he's actually not. Like, to be honest, just like based on like how he analyzes situations, he's not stupid. He's actually smarter than most people. He's just very humble. Let the hate flow. Oh, you know what this reminds me of? You guys remember the good times with Excalibur Umbra Ree, the hater and the gooner? Yeah, exactly. He also knows a lot about history. Yeah, he does, yeah. Anything right of Marx is considered alt-extreme and far-right Nazi. Dude, I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna read the Communist Manifesto and Das Kapital. I'm gonna read both of them just so I can mog on commies. Just so I can shit on them and be like, excuse me, did you even read Das Kapital? I need it just for the ammo, you know what I mean? Like, it's actual slop. Yeah, but see, like, think of how good it would be to do that. I could be so smug about it, you know? Read Mein Kampf while you're at it. Well, I mean, I want to read all of those dark books or whatever. I do want to read them. You definitely should. Yeah. I need to read more books, to be honest. I've been listening to too many podcasts. Like, podcasts are too fun to listen to, you know? I was listening to Joe Rogan and Andrew Wilson lately. That one's really fun. Should read the Prince audiobook. Yeah, I mean, I listen to audiobooks while I'm walking, generally. Go for a walk, listen to an audiobook, you know? Dark books will start on Leaflit's journey into dark mega. The paradox of tolerance. To keep it simple, a tolerant society might retain its right to be intolerant of intolerant or risk becoming intolerant society itself.
Who the fuck is Leaflit?
Far-right fucks think she's against immigration, but she literally was in the anime. Wait, she literally said that these people do not like us. They should not be here. That was literally an entire arc. Did these people watch Frieren? That literally happened. The demons tried to like immigrate into the country, and she was like, listen, they don't actually like you. They want to kill you. That was an entire arc. Am I wrong? Wasn't that an entire arc in Frieren?
That's kind of the whole series. I mean, there's the two demons that were playing diplomats early on in like the Aura arc. And then throughout the show, we've got this constant separation that demons are a whole different species that imitates humanity for the very fact that they're using it as a way to get closer to their prey, quote unquote. I don't think they ever said if like demons eat humanity. I think it might be a competition for resources. Or just simply they see humans as weaker.
It's been a while since I've watched season 1, but yeah, it was basically the demons tried to bait like this one city of like allowing them to live with them. Like they had like the demon like ambassador or something. The Aura arc, yeah, exactly. Hello, thank you so much for the bits, and thank you, Hashtag for the 200 bits, thank you. I remember a poet saying that leftists often self-identify with evil after the whole Frieren debacle. Himmel wanted to give a child demon a chance and learned his lesson. Yeah, that was in the anime. Dallas Gunslinger, thank you so much. Thank you for 10 gift subs. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. And by the way, here's the funny thing. It wasn't really Frieren being against immigration. It was about Frieren being against immigration of people that want to kill you, of people that don't like you, of people that want your destruction. That's what it was about. So like to say that it was specifically against immigration is like not even correct. This is what I mean. Like this is what I've been saying, guys. Do you see what I mean? Like these people are just stupid. Like I can't tell if they're intentionally doing this. Like they're literally like Frieren demons, and they're intentionally doing this just to like fuck with you so that they can destroy you, or if they're actually just retarded. You know, like I can't tell. If everyone read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius and have more self-control and inner peace, I don't, you know, maybe I will read that. That sounds kind of good. I just guys, there's like a prayer. Everyone knows that. I've been saying this like forever. There's a Christian prayer that goes like this. It goes, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I just live my life like that, basically. It's like, you can't change it. Oh, well, it is what it is. Can I change it? Okay, well, I'm going to do my best to change it.
I know what she's talking about, and I happen to have a little piece of art here. Hold on. Folders, folders, folders. If we go there. Yes, there we are. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. I think that this is great wisdom to live by. I also like the golden rule. do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I guess unless you're like really twisted, and then maybe what you think is good to do, what you would want done unto you, might not be what people want done to them. That's neither here nor there, though. All right, continuing on with Leaflit.
And then knowing like the difference between the two. Wait, it's r/VTuber drama? Is that like that's a thing? r/VTuber drama. That's crazy. Should I watch what Asmin said?
Who's this? VTuber drama. r/VTuber drama. And obviously, look who it is. Look who it is in the background, right there.
It's always
Why is it always VTubers with pointy ears that are racist. Call it the free rent effect? That's funny. Why did the VTuber space become so toxic? It's not toxic to want to get parasites out of your country. That's not
true.
Sure as hell is. Absolutely. Leaflit, very beautiful model.
Guys,
rotten
like
person behind it.
Guys, like think about how crazy this is, guys. Think about how crazy this is. They actually think, like unironically, they think it's toxic to be like, we want to safeguard the culture of our country. That if you want to come to America, you have to be willing to be a part of American culture and be a part of America. That's what they're against. Like, it's so insane. It doesn't make any sense at all, right? Like, I'm not even against immigration. I'm against like people immigrating that their culture is incompatible with our culture. Why should we let people here if if there was a country, say there's a country, right? I'm going to say hypothetically, right? There was a country where it's common practice to cheat and scam people. That's like the culture. That's a normal thing that people do. People do it a lot in that country. Why would we import them to our country? That happens less with our culture. It just doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. I see you found a subreddit. So many people who defended you got downvoted. It's so bad. Yeah, I saw that. I really appreciate it, honestly. I wrote in Spanish to mess them up. Thank you so much, DJQ. They hate Americans, so of course they want incompatible cultures to invade. Yes. I know. It's not bad to be proud of your country and to love your country and the culture of your country. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't let them gaslight you, chat. You can love America. It's perfectly fine. And if they're gonna pull some bullshit and say that like, well, you're descendant from colonizers and your people took over other people's land. Yeah, so did fucking everyone in history. Literally everybody took over everybody's land. And unless you're from like very specific like areas that are like cradles of civilization, then your ancestors were colonizers. To be
In all honesty, we are finding further and further ancestries going further and further back. Every time we think, oh, this is where these people appeared, boom, we find even more ancient signs of life, patterns of in the bones that these people weren't the same group or ethnicity as the group that lived there whenever the last record was found. You'll never be able to find a point, I think, where somebody didn't displace somebody or absorb them. They didn't always displace them. Sometimes they absorbed them. Thank goodness for the little bit of Neanderthal DNA we all have in us that helps us with certain immunities, right?
Be honest, they weren't doing much of the land anyway. Like the idea that like white people came along, or whatever race that they hate came along, and all of a sudden things got violent is stupid. It's just dumb. Even in like America, the Native Americans were killing each other for years. Before the first white person even appeared here, they were already killing each other. Same thing in South America too, with like the Aztecs. They were killing people way before. That's what I mean. Like they're not consistent. They just make shit up. If you don't want to get colonized, get better at war. And that was the rules before. It's only recently that we've started to look down on that stuff, which I think is, it's a good thing, obviously, but I don't think war is a good thing in general, but sometimes it's necessary, right? But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, it's not even an issue of immigration. It's an issue of cultural match.
Right, guys, there's nothing that's good about wanting to have somebody that doesn't even care about your fucking country get deported. I want to see this.
That is a good song, but we're here to react to Leaflet.
I'm sick of alt-right VTubers. I'm not. She an Asmongold fan. Any opinion she might have is valid by default. She is
Invalid.
into this illiterate fuck. Oh my god. VTubing has given a platform to people to be anonymous and say stupid shit and downright horrible things. Genuinely, we're going to get to a point where some of the bigger VTubers say enough is enough, and it's time to gatekeep because this is ridiculous. That's right, guys, because they don't want it to be anonymous so they can harass you in real life.
Yeah.
That's always what it's about, just like it is every single time.
Yep.
I don't pay mind to these people. Yep, sure. Go back to Africa. Funny as shit is, she's Japanese. Yeah. And you know what they probably don't want? They probably don't want a bunch of Somalians in their country scamming them. It's pretty simple.
I'm American.
So, oh, here we go. She's one of
I'm
those
freaking American. I've always lived in America. I was born here.
Christians. Oh, right. Let's hear about Christianity from a Redditor. And, oh my God. So many of these people are crying and getting mad. But I don't know what to say. Anyway, no, people get mad and they talk shit about this. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that more people are starting to speak up against it. And I'm glad that, I'm going to be honest, I'm glad that more creators are getting hate on social media for not supporting ICE and for making virtue statements against ICE. I think that content creators need to deserve, I think they deserve, and I think they need a lot more hate and they need a lot more pushback for being able to virtue sig-
Yo, they're gonna clip that so hard. They're gonna clip that so hard. Asmongold says that content creators need more hate.
I was thinking very similar. They are going to clip that. Just from the short time that I've been listening to things by Aspen. Oh, I know, puppy. Just a little bit longer. I think she's almost done. But just the short time I've been exposed to Asmongold through Leaflit, Kirsha, and other content creators, and sometimes finding his clips myself. You know, that's just how it is.
know
They're
about
gonna
how bad
clip
ICE
that
is.
shit.
I do. I'm really glad to see more people speaking up against it and, you know, taking a stand for these weirdos, right? Especially streamers. I want to see it happen a lot more.
The thing is like, it's funny because the other side, like, you know, these like psycho leftists, they're used to it being one-sided. That like now that they're finally getting like a little bit of it back, they're kind of like freaking out. They're just so used to like everyone sucking them off, like the mainstream media, big companies. They're just so used to being comfortable and like, you know, I can say whatever the fuck I want. Like no one will do anything. No one will push back, right? They're literally like the big playground bully that nobody can fight against. And then like one day the freaking somebody else just walks up and just punches them. They start crying because they're not used to opposition. I think Asari went through the citizenship process. Yeah, my mom's a citizen. My mom's only thing, the only thing that made my mom mad was that Obama signed her citizenship and not Trump. She's very upset by that one.
Congratulations to her mom. I understand the little bit of like a wish to have a president that stands for the country you're moving into signing your citizenship opposed to another. But I'm just glad that, oh, come on, Boba, just a little bit longer. I don't know how much longer this is. Oh, we're almost done. We're almost done, little guy. But congratulations to her mother for getting her citizenship done properly. And I've heard that that is quite the process. Being born in America, I kind of got the easy road. You know, other than being a white man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. You'd be upset too. Yeah, thanks, Obama.
So put them in the box. Let the walls be cold and white.
So, that was a bit of Leaflit. She's awesome. I'm going to put a link to this video in the description if I remember to. I hope I do. I've still got to do some editing, cut out a few spots where Puppy barked, got real loud, and then some areas where I had some technical issues with my own microphone. But this hopefully should be up very soon. You all have a great day. Take care of yourselves. God bless you. Be nice to each other. And we'll see you around. Duker do and Duker does.